Hello, guys. Welcome to my music room, my studio, and I've kind of made a new setup where I can video and record and show you my screen. And I'm sort of thinking that it would be really fun to turn the Patreon a bit more educational, a bit more inspirational, rather than just getting music. Hopefully, maybe get a little bit more of an insight into my process and how I work and the stuff that I use to work, and maybe even like where ideas come from and how they get developed. And I'd love to be able to, I think, share my artistic process a bit more with you guys through this Patreon. And so I'm kind of rethinking how we're going to do it, but it's going to be really fun, and I hope more like connectivity and more that we can collaborate with and interact. So today I just thought I'd show you like a little idea about how I started this song Species that I'm sending you a demo of this month. And some songs, you know, they sort of arrive in your brain, but some songs just sort of grow. I quite like the idea that all of life, rather than having this sort of ideal out there that you're aiming for, that life basically just grows out of like the dividing of cells and things, necessity wanting to take place. I suppose it's an evolutionary approach, but I sort of really like it's quite liberating to think that you're not aiming for some sort of crazy, beautiful, perfect thing, but you're just getting messy and getting your hands messy and seeing what comes of it and growing something out of the soil. I think it's quite liberating. So this is a little inspiration to you all just to get messy and make some noise and see what comes of it. So I'll kind of show you how I started this song. I really probably haven't got time to show you everything in it, but I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'll show you how it all grew out of a very simple piano line. Sometimes when I'm just kind of going, right, what am I going to do? Okay, I'll just play something on the piano and record it in. So I played this. I think it was... just making like rolling things on the piano. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, see if this works. Boom. And I'm going to show you that. So that was the first thing I did. Here it is. There it is. You can hear it in all its glory. That's that track. So I just kind of recorded that without any idea about really what I was going to do with it. But it's quite beautiful. Kept adding notes and bang. So that was like how it began. And then I'm using Ableton Live, which is an amazing program that I've used for like more than a decade, probably 15 years, maybe more, who knows. And Ableton's just really cool. It has all these really cool kind of palette things that can just start to get the creativity going. You don't have to necessarily think of it as like start to finish as a song, but you can start mucking around with the sounds. So if you like, just to show you, if you control click on that and you put slice to new MIDI track there and you click that, it will go and it'll give you a few options or whatever, and you can muck around with that. But it basically makes this, it slices it up into like MIDI samples, so then you can play those little slices of that piece. It's kind of like cutting up something that you've made with scissors and then redistributing them. Does that make sense? So now I can, let's just put that one on. Whoops, I think I soloed that. Yeah, I did. Still learning. So like suddenly it's all these slices, you can see them on the screen. Some of them are so small that it loops and it gets this glitchy sound. It's really cool. And then I started mucking around playing those. And I sort of go, oh, that one's really nice. It's kind of got a rhythmicness to it. So this is sort of where glitch music comes from. Glitch music's all about taking a acoustic sound and slicing it up digitally and like making a collage almost, or redistributing it. And if you've got a MIDI controller like this, it's very sort of nice, basic, fairly basic, but pretty good. It's Native Instruments Complete Control. You can start to trigger them. And suddenly I was like, oh, that sort of sounds cool. That'd be really nice in a texture underneath. So I just recorded a load. I'll play them to you now. You can see all these MIDI things. This was me mucking around, going, oh yeah, that sounds quite good. Add another one on top, see how they change each other, you know. There's another one. Ooh, some sort of higher stuff. Ooh. Oh, there's me getting a bit of a groove going. And what I really like about this is that, you know, so much electronic music now is basically people calling up presets of synths or bass lines or just sample beats that they've bought online, and everything kind of sounds pretty much the same. Like it's all just come from the same palette of source. So whatever you do with it, you've still got that kind of sound palette. Whereas if you have a piano and you have a microphone and you can just record something real out of your own life, some sort of sound that's real to you in your life, you can still mash it up and do some weird stuff with it, but it's going to have that sound that is actually, there's something quite nostalgic about that sound. So I kind of like that. I'll show you another little thing down here. If you find like a slice that you like and you go into controls, these two there's one called velocity and volume, and there's one called random pan. So with the random pan one, I think I did it on 20, yeah, there you go. On random pan slice 24, I set it to 73, and what that means is it was like 73% randomly start panning it acrossways. So instead of just being in the center of your headphones or your speakers, it's going to start shifting it across the plane of sound, and that just adds like wideness. And also, I like the randomness thing. It's sort of, I think randomness is really fun. It kind of adds something quite cool to music. So there's our thing. You might hear it start panning randomly. So I started. So that's it, you know. And then I sort of thought that's quite cool. I'm going to copy that in, so you can see there. If I turn the metronome, I tried to play it to a beat. You can hear the panning, and it's just got like a really nice, glitchy, slightly nostalgic piano, lovely real piano sound. And then I was like, okay, this is cool. Suddenly my creativity starts going, I need a beat. Okay, I'm not going to just call up a drum machine or whatever. So I went into this part of Ableton here, called one Piano Hit. Now I've got these two mics on my piano, here and here, and they kind of clamp onto the piano, and if I hit the piano, I get a lot of sound off them, especially down the bass. So I just recorded this little let's go somewhere at the end and make you a solo that or something, and oh yeah, okay, yeah, there's something else on there, so I'll turn that off for now. So there's me just hitting the piano and making a loop. So Ableton's really cool because you can make just a loop and then start mucking around with that, just 4 bars or whatever it is. And I stuck a compressor on it to beef up the sound a little bit, but keep a limit, keep some control of it. And then I sort of found this cool plugin that Ableton have called Corpus, and it can take your beat. So it was like, what if I took that beat and used it to control a little bell? And I've set it just to 10%. If I put it all the way up, you'll hear just the bell. But I just wanted a little touch of bell. So there you go, nice bit of bell. So that kind of became my beat. If we go back into the session now, we go back there, I can chuck that beat in along with the glitch. Let's chuck them in together, bang and bang. And that was when I started going, all right, let's put something really electronic in. So I called up a glitchy kind of kit. And again, it was just making a loop. Where's my kit here? So again, playing it on here and sending it to a delay. And suddenly I've got this. It's like there's a bit of a groove going there and it sounds really nice. Add a little wee bit of bass in as well. Let's have a listen. 2, 3, 4. And suddenly you've got the beginning of a song, of a track. Doesn't matter if you don't want to sing. You can if you want. So I sang this on top. Didn't really know. I had this dream that I was all about species, and I was thinking a lot about the human species and how we've kind of lost our way in very many ways, to do with Black Lives Matter and violence against women and COVID-19 and climate change. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to sing. So this is sort of stream of consciousness. Just set the mic on and went like this. Whole species, why did you lose your trust? Why did you lose yourself in the sound? So you can hear there wasn't really very much of a lyric. Whole species. Yeah, not a huge amount of lyrics, but definitely a sort of melody and something there to work on. So there's a couple of little tips, a couple of little ideas about how to get started on a piece. You don't have to know exactly what you're going to do. I think it's probably better if you don't know what you're going to do all the way through. Shall we finish with one of Brian Eno's oblique strategies? Let's do it. Ask your body. There you go. Thanks everyone. Enjoy the species demo, and I'll make another one of these in a minute. This was quite fun. Bye for now. Bye.